Lucia Vega froze mid-polish as billionaire tech CEO Victor Reeves waved a document written in Mandarin before his executive team. Her hidden fluency itched at the back of her throat, a secret she'd carried for years. "Whoever can translate this acquisition proposal," Reeves declared, nudging Lucia's cleaning cart aside with his polished Italian shoe, "earns my salary for a day. $27,400. The executives burst out laughing, exchanging knowing glances. Lucia lowered her eyes, keeping her cloth moving in slow circles across the glossy mahogany table. "Maybe we should just use Google Translate," joked Derek Willis, VP of Operations, his Harvard ring clinking against his water glass. "Probably more reliable than whatever bargain service we'd find." Lucia's phone buzzed in her pocket. A reminder. The eviction notice, 72 hours left before the court hearing, that could put her and her mother on the street. The amount she needed to stop it? $27,000. Her fingers closed around the jade translator's pen hidden in her pocket. Her father's final gift, a skill denied, a heritage buried, and now, possibly, a lifeline. But would stepping forward bring respect, or would it only lead to fresh humiliation in a room where she was invisible? The thought lingered like a silent prophecy as she slipped quietly from the room. Lucia hadn't always been invisible. 15 years earlier, she was the bright-eyed 8-year-old who amazed teachers by jumping effortlessly between 3 languages. Her Chinese mother, Min, had met her Dominican father, Raphael, during an international student exchange in Boston. Despite their cultural differences, their bond grew stronger through a shared passion for languages and learning. "Words build bridges between worlds," Raphael would tell her gently, guiding her hand as she wrote characters that danced across the page. By 10, she could translate conversations between her Chinese grandparents and Dominican relatives, drawing smiles from both sides of her family. On her 13th birthday, she received the jade translator's pen, smooth, weighty, with carved characters that read, "Knowledge illuminates." When she held it close, it carried the faint scent of sandalwood from her father's study, where they had spent countless hours exploring texts in multiple languages. "This pen belonged to a great scholar," her father had told her. "Now it belongs to another." But only 3 months later, everything changed. Rafael Vega was laid off from Reeves Enterprises in a so-called strategic restructuring. After 15 years building the company's partnerships in Asia, he was let go with a severance that barely covered 2 months' rent. Overnight, their health insurance vanished. When the cough turned out to be stage 4 lung cancer, medical bills piled up faster than his job rejections. One night, after yet another failed interview, he returned home pale and defeated. "They won't hire me," he whispered to Min. "Reeves has blacklisted me everywhere. They say I know too much." 6 months later, Raphael was gone, leaving $43,756 in medical debt, a grieving family, and a jade pen that Lucia now carried everywhere as both a comfort and a weight. Min took on 3 housekeeping jobs. Her engineering degree from Beijing University meant little without American credentials. Lucia's dream of winning a linguistic scholarship collapsed when Min suffered her first stroke. At 17, Lucia left school to work full-time. Now 23, her life ran on a punishing rhythm. Cleaning offices at Reeves Enterprises from 4 p.m. to midnight, caring for her half-paralyzed mother until dawn, catching 3 hours of sleep, then translating academic papers online from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. under the pseudonym Linguistic Bridge. The anonymous translation work paid $22 per hour, far better than the $14 to $25 cleaning jobs. But clients were inconsistent, and if her real identity was revealed, she risked losing the modest health coverage that kept her mother alive. 60 hours of work each week, every dollar already spoken for, $200 toward rent for their small one-bedroom, $463 for her mother's medications, $275 toward her father's medical debt, $190 for groceries, $145 for utilities. Nothing left for savings. For 5 years, Lucia had walked the halls of Reeves Enterprises like a shadow, emptying trash bins while executives struck billion-dollar deals. She'd mastered invisibility, yet her ears never stopped listening. She absorbed talk of acquisitions, product launches, leadership shifts. Her fluency in Mandarin, Spanish, and English turned background chatter into valuable knowledge, and now, as she gripped the jade pen in her pocket, she realized this knowledge might finally become her weapon, purchasing a $14.2 million vacation home in Aspen. Lucia knew Derek Willis had stolen credit for the Singapore expansion strategy that junior analyst Priya Sharma had actually designed. She knew the company's public declarations about diversity hid the truth of systemic wage gaps. Maintenance staff were overwhelmingly people of color, while nearly all executive leadership remained white. Knowledge without power, intelligence without opportunity. Lucia wiped away coffee stains from polished tables, while understanding every word of their conversations about Asian markets, Hispanic consumers, and untapped multilingual demographics. The irony pressed down on her. But irony couldn't stop eviction notices or pay for medicine. Now the 72-hour countdown had begun. Her mother's disability appeal had been denied again. The eviction notice was final. Without $25,000 for back rent and legal fees, they would be homeless, joining the invisible workforce who built, cleaned, and sustained the city without ever being fully seen. At 10:17 a.m. on Friday, the document landed on Reeves' desk. Lucia noticed because she was polishing the glass trophy case nearby, close enough to see the Shanghai postmark and the logo of Hangtech Innovations, one of China's biggest semiconductor firms. She also noticed the way Reeves's usually steady face flickered with panic. By noon, the executive floor buzzed with chaos. Urgent meeting alerts popped across monitors. The translation team was contacted only for bad news to arrive. Lin, the head translator, was in Beijing visiting family. His 2 associates were in Tokyo for a conference. Lucia moved quietly, emptying bins and dusting surfaces, while executives scrambled around her. Suddenly Reeves stormed from his office, the document clenched in his hand. Everyone in the conference room. Now her shift technically ended at noon on Fridays. She should have left. But something, curiosity, fate, kept her close, wiping already spotless counters as the room filled. Reeves slammed the document onto the table. Huang is offering us exclusive manufacturing rights for our new processor. This could double our market share in Asia. That's fantastic news, Willis ventured, though confusion showed in his tone. It would be, Reeves snapped, if we could actually read it. They've sent it in Mandarin. Our translation team is unavailable, and we have 72 hours to respond before they take this deal to Samsung. Lucia's heart skipped. Even from where she stood, she recognized characters on the cover page, technical terms her father once taught her, specifications for semiconductor tolerances. Can't we just use a service? Priya asked carefully. For something this technical and confidential? Reeves scoffed. Do you want our advantage leaked across Silicon Valley? The executives shifted uncomfortably. Lucia kept polishing the credenza. I'll make it worth someone's while, Reeves continued, his voice sharp but performative as his eyes flicked toward her. Translate this 30-page proposal accurately in 48 hours, and I'll pay my daily salary. That's $27,400. The room went silent. Then Willis laughed and others followed nervously. Maybe even the cleaning lady can give it a shot, Reeves added, gesturing in Lucia's direction. Though I doubt housekeeping school includes Mandarin. Laughter again, this time sharper. Lucia kept her eyes down, but her grip on the cleaning cloth tightened. We'll divide it among the team, Willis suggested. Use translation software first, and then refine it. Fine, Reeves agreed. But remember, 72 hours until Hang walks. And these documents don't leave this building. Security protocols in full effect. As executives dispersed, clutching copies of the proposal, Lucia noticed two things. First, they were already mistranslating the title page, calling it a partnership opportunity when the characters clearly described an exclusive manufacturing contract. Second, the 72-hour deadline matched perfectly with her own eviction timeline. Reeves' daily salary could pay for her mother's medication and cover the overdue rent. But if she revealed her skill, she risked losing her job. Or worse, humiliating powerful executives who didn't want to be shown up. And what if the document contained the same ruthless policies that had destroyed her father's career? Would she be helping the very company that ruined her family? But if she let this chance slip away, would she ever forgive herself? Lucia made her decision at 1:43 a.m., standing in the dim light of her apartment kitchenette, while her mother slept in the next room. She clutched the jade pen in her hand. Lucia's mother slept fitfully in the converted living room, medical monitors casting blue shadows across her face. Beside Lucia's translation notes lay the eviction notice, the number 72 circled in red, counting down the hours until Monday's court hearing. She couldn't reveal herself openly. Not yet. Too risky. But maybe she could test the waters, prove her skills without stepping fully into the light. Saturday night brought her by.